Hi guys, quick impromptu video, and it will be quick. That's 3 videos from me this weekend. This is a public apology, and I'm not going to make light of this. This is, look, at the end of the day, in the footage that I quickly put up of the Perth Amiga users group meet, and it was a tongue-in-cheek joke, and it has been sorted out with the person in question, but I referred to a Commodore VIC-20 as shit and crap. I, of course, didn't mean that in any malicious way. Not at all. Not at all, and I never would. So just to explain, the image in question is... I'll come to that in a minute. The image in question was this one. And as I'd already talked about, Al's Spectrum Plus 3 here. Now I owned one of these, so I do have a special place for those. And the VIC-20 was here. So it was when it came to this bit of footage that I made that joke. I assumed they were all owned by the same person, and even though I don't know him that well, I've already gauged the fact that I think he would have taken that kind of joke well, and I think he probably does own a VIC-20 or at least a Commodore 64. So yeah, there was seriously no malice in it at all, but I still think, look, at the end of the day, it's wrong for me to assume that everybody has the same sense of humour as me, and that everybody would understand that that's how I meant it. So I in no way think that a VIC-20 is crap. And look, to show you how sincere I am on that, and I'm not just saying it, June 1980. That's when Commodore put out the VIC-20, and look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a proper computer with a full, proper keyboard, full function. I don't know the specs. Somebody can fill me in on that because I've never really played with one. But let's have a look at what Clive Sinclair put out in the same year, shall we? Oh, ZX80, in fact, so the first one. There's no comparison. There is absolutely no comparison. Look, always support the home team, but when you compare that to the... Now, granted, let's give Clive Sinclair a bit of kudos. This was in January, so it took Commodore another 6 months, but still, this looks like a piece of crap. And now I'm going to get in trouble with a Sinclair ZX80 fan. But when you compare the two visually, my goodness, well, you wouldn't pick the Z80, would you? So look, seriously, all it comes down to really, and I'm aware that the markets were very different in Australia. It was very much Commodore or nothing, really. And especially once you get into the C64 era. So C64 and ZX Spectrum 48. I mean, 48K. What are we looking at there? We're looking at the rubberized keyboard. So again, you can't... To compare that to a Commodore 64, again, the Commodore 64, much nicer looking machine, much nicer to use. And when you compare Spectrum games to the Commodore games, the Commodore always had the richer colours, no colour clash, all of that. So seriously, what it comes down to from a UK perspective is seriously, it's the playground banter that we used to have. And why would you back your side? Well, because you couldn't afford to own both. So whatever your parents bought you for Christmas, you become a fervent, it's like a cult. That's your team and you back it. And then now in adulthood, we kind of see how stupid that was and we play off that. So maybe that explains a bit to those in Australia why that sort of mentality exists. I know the same thing happened over here in terms of the Commodore Amiga and the Atari ST. So similar sort of thing would have happened in that era, but not so much maybe in this era. So just to explain where it comes from, there's seriously no malice in it. Just to explain, I don't script stuff, even this, obviously. Sometimes I might write myself a few short notes, things I want to remember to say. Certainly didn't do it for this, so I'm going to actually explain how it works. And this is the first time I've done one of these. I basically, here's all my footage. Bang, bang, bang. So that I just ran with it. And then I put the photos up. I had one run through and realised the photos went too quickly, so I stretched some of them out. And then literally, for the voiceover, and it's the first time I'd used this feature, in all honesty, within Premiere. Let's get rid of that. No, what we won't, we will mute that and we'll use another soundtrack here. And literally, what you do is this. You choose where your voiceover is going to start. You hit the record voiceover button. And so I didn't plan any of it. I literally just rambled what I thought would be interesting, and then that rolled naturally into what I thought would be amusing. So wasn't premeditated at all. So you hit the record button and then you start talking. It gives you a countdown. So what we're looking at here is the table with the CD32 and this nice Australian-made joystick that people were playing Chaos Engine on. So that was nice. CD32. Do you know what? That's the first time I've had an opportunity to play on a CD32 as well, not just Chaos Engine, and I didn't do it. The mini Amiga Raspberry Pi case, that was fantastic. The things with the A1200 cases being sold by David, not Dave. So those were there, great price. I posted all these photos up on the Retro Cave chat on the 90s as well. They love seeing it from the UK because they can't have these meets. Spectrum Plus 3, fantastic machine, owned one myself. My brother bought mine for my birthday. And then next to the Spectrum Plus 3 is the VIC-20, which was brought out in 1980 and is easily better than the ZX80. So look, there we go. That's how it works. That's how you do it, and then it creates the audio. Okay, so I just wanted to explain that. I just wanted to take the time to lay that to rest and to make a public apology to the person in question. Not going to name them because they might not be comfortable with that, but seriously, mate, peace. All right, cheers, guys. Thanks.